not know that I was a member of the PPP. And in 2004, I was expelled from that party because I was openly arguing against the corruption that I saw inside the PPP. I won a seat in the PPP in 1992, right up to the year 2006. But in 2004, there were so many problems that you saw happening, and you make your statements, you made your statements connection with the dolphin issue, corruption in the customs department, corruption, forget the little birth certificate, so many things. And they said, Cameron, shut your mouth now, where you talk so much for. But the corruption has gotten bigger since I have left the party. And that is something that you people can't deny. You see the corruption all around you in road construction, even getting lights, water, so many things, housing schemes, so many things. And it is largely that corruption that has created conditions being so difficult for estate people, if I may put it that way. All across Guyana you go, you're going to find people in estate areas suffering from tremendous domestic violence. Poor conditions because the VAT killing them in relation to their groceries. Housewives, they know that. There are hardly any jobs apart from that which the estate can provide, and even the estate these days do not provide the kind of quality jobs that can get you a living wage at the end of the week. It does not. It does not provide the education that you want for your children, because so many teachers leaving the school system, and also because of poverty. People are not able to carry their children to school or send them to school. They don't have meals, they don't have transportation and so on. And we have done the survey, and we have found that very many people in the sugar estate areas are the most impoverished in the country, apart of course from the Amerindian community. They are very, very poor. But when we fought for democracy in 1992 under the PPP, under Dr. Jagan, that very great man, we felt that these people are going to move our lot from the little that we had then to lots more today. But when you compare what you had in 92 as against what you now have, it is my opinion that we have done very badly. We ought not to have been here now. We ought to have been far more advanced as a country. But why has that happened? You know why it has happened? They got a word that describes it: bad governance. Especially since Dr. Jagan closed the eye, bad governance from since 2001.
Everything closed. Correctly.
The party members and leaders right now that we used to hold in great esteem only care for themselves. As he mentioned, the one big Pradoville house, them house are 4 times where you got here, 5 times, and put 1 acre house lot. That's what the president took for himself. 1 acre, 5 house lots almost. They do not want to increase the wages of sugar workers, as you remembered earlier this year and last year. When you ask for a 15% increase, Guy Suko said, no, we ain't got no money for pay.
Right.
And then when you now go to the president, he play like he a god, and he said, don't bother with Guy Suko, I can give only 5%. It was all part of a trick. Tell Guy Suko board, I mean, I got nothing for you. But when you come to me, Jack Dale, me go give you on 5%. And then I'll feel that he's a great guy. And that is how they trick the people. And it is your money that you pay into the coffers through taxes. Your money that comes from the sugar that is exported, that then goes into the coffers as revenues. But he don't want to give you. He wants it for certain purposes, and a lot of purposes, as even Dr. Jagan would say, are not necessary for making the country advance. Brothers and sisters, I want to tell you that all these problems that you suffer in your communities have come about because of another reason, that jobs have not been created by this government. Sugar prices indeed are high now in the world market, but they did not see it fit at the appropriate time to have made up and rehabilitated the local estates all across the country. They put all the eggs in one basket called Skeldon Factory, and then they go and they give some Chinese people an Australian for construct the thing, and it had a bad design, major design flaws. The thing can't work now. Now when you can take $200 million US a year money, that's a lot of money, and put it in one estate, and did not apportion portions for Albion, Blairmont, LBI, and more, and whatever else where the estates are, you're going to find people suffering today because of that very bad, what you call, investment. The dividends what we could draw today now will mean all them negatives that happening in your household and in your community. You don't get enough money to buy the groceries, to buy the food, the rice and whatever it is. It can fall back when you make a bad investment. And that is what this government has been doing. Bad investment. Take for example, and I'm saying this to you brothers and sisters because I want you to understand how bad governance affect your lives at the bottom.
Correct.
This is what happened with Dr. Jagan. When he came into power in 92, he only had 13 ministries. Jagdeo now got 22 ministries.
Yeah.
Why you had to go employ over 700 other staff? You got drivers, you got clerks, you got... Why is he making the bureaucracy so top heavy and pay them people all in fancy salaries and so on? With from 13 to 22 now, that's almost 9 more. And then some of the ministry got minister within the ministry. So like Barry Ramsaran, Leslie Ramsamy is the Minister of Health, and Barry Ramsaran is the minister within the Ministry of Health. So you got 2 ministers.
And Pratibara did hospital. I say,
He get drugs, so they bring drugs when you start spending taxpayers' money
and people still are dead.
cane cutters' money into investments like the Skeldon estate and into a bureaucracy that's top heavy, like I'm talking about, what will you get left for salary increases? What will you get for making better quality roads? But the bad governance not stop there in relation to taking your money and creating all this bureaucracy. More ministries. And by the way, it's not only the more ministries and minister within the ministries, but they got advisors to the president. Well, another 7 of them who are like ministers. Odinga Lumumba is one. Kwame Mackay is one. Gail Teixeira is another one. And you know what some of them salary? Gail Teixeira, who used to pride herself as saying that she worked in class. Her salary, and I'm only talking about salary, is $888,000 a month. Odinga Lumumba one is $660,000 a month. And when you ask 15%, which only mean probably $1,000 a month or less than that, you can't get them. And so that is what I'm saying. Guyana is a wealthy country. But if you got a government since the days of Dr. Jagan, since he closed the eye, that is spending the money wild like that. And that was what I was saying in the political party that I came from, PPP. That must not do that. Please stop that corruption. Cut the ministries back to 13 like what Chetty had.
Right.
Save billions of dollars so that the ordinary folk that needs it must get it. No, they don't want that. So they create more ministries. And when they create more ministries, you want revenues to pay these workers at these ministries Where you go get the money from? And you know what they do? They jack up the VAT to 16%. Because they want revenues to pay for their top-heavy bureaucracy. And all the while spending every other day. He wants to leave the country to go to Qatar and Kuwait and China and Barbados and Jamaica. Our president spends more time outside than inside. And that's the truth. You know, Chetty, when he was in opposition, used to cuss Burnham for that. And height and so on. Well, we got a president and a government and a party that does almost the same thing now since Chetty closed his eyes. And they don't care anything about cane cutters anymore. They don't care. They would watch them, see that they're paying their wages and this NIS payments and so on. And when you go for your NIS payments, you don't get it.
You never get them.
You don't get it.
That's right.
And even when you injure the workplace, they
get
go on tribunal and tell you that you're not so injured that you're entitled. You go walk again.
Yes, you're fit if you walk back again. And this is sick.
And this is the government that tells themselves and tell the whole world that they are a working class government. Brothers and sisters, these are the points that you have to understand as to what caused your difficulties in the ground.
Correctly.
When your taxpayers' money, because that is what government is all about. Yes. Government is largely to collect the revenues and then administer it equitably for all its people. But more than that, it is also, and this is another point we want to tell you, is that it must facilitate other people to start creating employment. Not only Gaisuko must create employment for you.
That's right.
Now, how do you make other people create employment? You got to reduce corporate tax. You got to give them some land to put up a factory. You got to tell them that, look, we would need, let's say, if it's a coconut industry, you want to create a soap factory or something from the coconut oil and the copra, that you got to give them a land so that they could cultivate, let's say, 5,000–6,000 acres coconut.
Correct.
Just like how we get over 300,000 acres of land to cultivate cane, you got to start doing that kind of thing. And they got plenty people that got huge sums of money overseas that I know of that ask for land to come and start these kinds of cultivation. And not only that, I'm talking about simpler things like pumpkin to export to hotels in Barbados and Trinidad. They want some land. This top-heavy bureaucracy do not fast-track the distribution of land for those kinds of investors. And even if these investors employ 10, 12 value, you'll be better off.
Yes,
when to process these things and put them into, let's say, canisters and so on, send overseas, even pepper sauce or green seasoning or whatever it is that we are good at.
That's right.
No, they don't. But the corporate tax in this country is 35%. So when you invest and you start make $1 profit, 35 cents out of the dollar are go to Jagdeo and his administration. For let he go Bariata all over the world. And you must understand that. Because our poverty is dependent on how they run the country. It is a direct connection. And that is why when you are grieving here and griping here, in Albion, in Port Moran, in Blairmont, in Bad Settlement, which we were, you must understand what is the cause. And this is not lie, because they will come and tell people here, Ramjatan talk a lot of nonsense, but it is not nonsense I'm talking. It is the truth. Their maladministration is what is causing the problems. So now if you got somebody that want to invest, to create employment, to enrich the country, and it got to pay 35% tax, you really think that that person will come to this country to pay that kind of tax? He's not going to do that. And then when the man now got for export, Guyana is the highest taxed country in the world. Even when the man got for export, they got something called now export levy. Even rice exporters got to pay a levy of 4%. Now all of that goes to the government. Whereas it could have gone into the man's pocket, more profit for the man, he can invest even bigger, more employment. But there is another reason why they don't like people, private people, to invest. They cannot control people who are private entrepreneurs. And this government only loves to control people. So when you got a private pocket, like how Ramjatan got an independent pocket, it has necessarily make you got one independent mind. And then I want people to get independent mind. They want to make them perpetually, that means permanently. They want to get them under control. And that is why they're going to only want them to go employ a guy suko. They don't want other people to create employment, like how, you know, when you, most of you here got family in America. And the families in America go find jobs. Of course, it's tough times now because of the mortgage crisis and so on. But they could go and find jobs. In Guyana, where you got here, you can't find job after Gaisuko. It's difficult. Why? Because this government never wanted other people to find other kinds of jobs to be created so that your daughters and sons that come out with 9 subjects, 6 subjects, 5 subjects can find one job. We only dream, brothers and sisters, of hoping that somebody good will come from America, marry them, and then they'll get a visa and go. We can't develop country like that. And so that is what is causing all kinds of social dislocations. It is massive dislocations. So that bad governance that we are talking about end up causing every little other problem. It is direct, sometimes indirect. Now how do you go about solving that? You go about solving